Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Jurassic World Hammond Collection Jurassic Park Velociraptor. Now, I've had this figure for a while. I got it a little after its original release date, which was like back in April, I think, and I don't know, I had this figure for a while, and I didn't want to review it because I figured this was kind of an older figure, and I figured it'd be a little pointless for me to talk about it now. But I made a poll on my channel, my community tab, and granted, only one person voted for me to review this thing, but at the same time, he didn't say no, and to be fair, I'm not really against reviewing this thing either, so, yeah. Anyway, here we are, so, yeah. Honestly, I don't really have a whole lot else to say, so let's just get right into this. Of course, to start this review, we'll take a look at the paint, and the painting on this figure is presentable. As you can see here, most of the figure is this brownish color. Almost has like a yellowish sort of finish to it, which I think looks a little weird. But yeah, it looks a little weird. The upper side of the figure here, like on the back and on the back of the tail here, the stripes, they are painted this nicer like shade of brown, which I think is the primary color this figure should have been. But that's besides the point. Going to the head here, we can see that the eyes are painted green with black slits for the pupil. The teeth here are painted a yellowish whitish color, and they look okay. The tongue is painted a salmon color, as well as the membranes on the side of the mouth here, and the roof of the mouth as well. The toenails and fingernails are painted this grayish blackish color with a nice glossy finish to them. And for some reason we have numbers on its ass, so there's that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the painting on this figure. It's not one-to-one to how it looked in the movie, which is a bit of a shame, but it still looks presentable. You can tell what they're trying to go for. Also, something I forgot to point out, the stripes just kind of stop here, so the rest of the tail is just, blank, but yeah, the painting, for the most part, does look presentable. It definitely could have been better, but it's still not the worst paint job I've seen on a figure. So, yeah, and also one more thing to point out that I forgot to mention. My figure has a lot of, a lot of paint chips for some reason, like on the underside of the neck here. You can see that there. So, yeah, it's pretty weird, but yeah, painting, not great, but not terrible either. So the painting here, I'd say gets half a pass. Now we'll take a look at the articulation, and the articulation on this figure is not bad. It's actually nice. I like it. So the mouth here can open like so and close, and the base of the head here is on a ball joint, as well as the base of the neck right here. The arms can move outwards like so, as well as move 360 degrees. So there's that. Bend at the elbows here, and again, a little bit of a swivel there. They can go 362. The legs here can kick forward about that much and backwards about that much. So there you go there. We have a bend in the knees here. And we have a bend in the ankles here as well, with a swivel here and a swivel here that I forgot to point out. And also, the legs can move outwards a little bit, not by a lot, but they can still move out a little bit. So there's that. And lastly, the tail. The base of the tail is on a ball joint, and there's a bendy wire in the tail. Though do be careful, because at least on mine, yeah, you can actually see the metal wire there. It's just kind of sticking out. And I think a little bit on this side too. Yeah, there's that bit right there. So definitely be careful in posing the tail, because, the material here doesn't really feel sturdy. So, yeah. I always say this, I don't like bendy wires in, figures. This is why, because, cases like this, like, it feels fragile, and I feel like that it could break, especially when the wire is showing here. I don't like that at all, but Regardless, the articulation on this figure, it's still nice. You know, some minor things I would have done differently. Mostly the tail. Just, again, I don't like bendy wires for the tail, but other than that, though, the articulation here I still think is pretty solid. So the articulation here, I'd say gets a pass. Now we'll talk about the sculpt, and the sculpting on this figure, it's not perfect. First of all, the feet here I think are way too big. This has been a problem with Mattel since 2018, so almost 5 years now. Which, first of all, damn, 5 years. Second of all, the big feet on these figures, it's really unnecessary. You know, I won't go into too much detail, but I've seen videos online where people make like custom like 3D printed raptor feet, and they just replace they take off the feet on this guy and just give him the smaller feet, and first of all, it looks so much better. Second of all, they actually stand perfectly fine with the smaller feet. So again, Mattel just giving us raptors with like feet that are way too big. It's unnecessary. It really is, and unfortunately, the huge feet here does kind of take away from the sculpting here. Another thing that I don't like about the sculpting here, I'll try to be brief about this, is that, you know, I've talked about this before, but the head here is based on the Jurassic World Raptors and not the Jurassic Park Raptors. Again, I've talked about this before, so I won't go into too much detail, but I just want to quickly say, Mattel, if you're watching this, then honestly, please just start investing in Stan Winston-based Raptor heads. Stop reusing the Jurassic World Raptor heads for all your Raptor figures. If you're gonna make Raptor figures based on the ones from the first movie, then invest in making Stan Winston-based Raptor heads. I mean, Jurassic World Evolution, they gave us the Stan Winston-based Velociraptors for the Return to Jurassic Park DLC back in 2019, so at this point, there's no excuse why Mattel, you can't do this. So please just invest in giving us, you know, Stan Winston Raptor heads for future Raptor figures, but I digress. Besides that, though, the sculpting is fine. Besides the feet and, you know, the head being based on the Jurassic World Raptors, I think the proportions look nice. The tail is a decent length, and, yeah, the sculpting here, it's not the worst, but it's still far from perfect. So, the sculpting here, honestly, I'd say gets half a pass. Now we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detail on this figure looks good. Mattel usually does a really good job with the detailing here, so let's take a closer look. So starting off with the head here, we can see that all the scales on the head here are detailed very nicely, very well defined. The teeth, I think they look okay. The teeth on the upper jaw here, I think look fine, but just the teeth on the bottom jaw, I think these look really weird, but, you know, regardless, you can just kind of do that, I guess, but still, the bottom teeth here look kind of weird. Going to the neck here, again, just a lot of really nice wrinkles and musculature here, which looks really nice. And we get that same detailing throughout. Like all the little scaling here throughout the figure looks great. And again, just all the creases and wrinkles and everything like that just looks really nice here. Going to the arms here, again, just a lot of really nice detailing here. A lot of great musculature and all the scaling here. Looks really nice. So there you go. Going to the leg here, again, just a lot of really nice detailing here. All the musculature, like in the calves here. And then the thighs, again, just a lot of great detailing. And all the scaling, like all the scales on the toes here, look really nice. And yeah, just a lot of really nice detailing here. Just a lot of great musculature and just all the wrinkles and creases and everything. Just, again, looks really nice. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the detailing on this figure. And besides the teeth on the lower jaw, the detailing on this figure looks really nice. So the detailing here, I'd say, definitely gets a pass. Now we'll do some size comparisons. Here we have the Jurassic World Hammond collection, Dr. Alan Grant, and I think these two scale very nicely with each other. Here we have the 2020 Legacy collection, Jurassic Park Velociraptor. Admittedly, I think this figure has the nicer color scheme, but that's just me. And of course, here we have the original Kenner Velociraptor. And I know in my Hammond collection reviews, I usually do a lot of praising when it comes to the Hammond collection figures, With the Hammond Collection T-Rex, I said that one was better than the original Red Rex. With the Hammond Collection Triceratops, I said that one was better than the original Kenner Triceratops, but I'm going to be honest here, I still like the Kenner Raptor more. You know, this guy here, I like this guy more than this guy, I'm not going to lie. So, yeah. And of course, here we have some hand sanitizer. And here we have Dr. Billy Grant. Let me just get the Hammond Collection Raptors head in view. So, there you go. There they all are with each other. So at the end of the day, should you get this figure? I'm not going to lie, I'm not the biggest fan of this figure. I don't dislike it by any means. You know, for what it is, I do think that this is a nice figure. But there are definitely some things I would have done differently. I think a Stan Winston styled head would have been really nice. Again, smaller feet would have been perfect, and just get rid of the bendy wire in the tail and just improve the paint apps on this figure. But other than that, though, I do think that this is a very solid Raptor figure, and yeah, especially for the price point. If you want this figure, I think like on Amazon it's only like $12, which is not terrible when you think about it. I remember the Battle Damage Velociraptor that came out for Fallen Kingdom. I remember that figure was like, I think $10, and this is on par as far as quality goes to that figure, so again, for what you're paying for, it's not that bad at all. So, is it perfect? No. But the price point isn't terrible, so it definitely won't be the end of the world if you bought this guy. So, yeah, if you do want him, get him on Amazon, because like I said, he's like $12 there, so, yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zack out.